Hi, welcome back to another episode. My name is Gary, and I'm the homemade bartender. And today we're getting into the new allocated store picks. So, my opinion, store picks have become so good by some stores that they actually are, in my opinion, the new allocated that are worth hunting. Now, this is so much harder than just going out and trying to find a Booker's or a WLW or even a Pappy. It's harder to find these and find them at exception to be exceptional than it is to find some of those allocated that I have mentioned. However, that being said, I believe that these are better. And so I've got four store picks here, and three out of these four are done by different stores. So we don't have a whole lot of different stores up here in Alaska, but I did want to make sure that I got in a couple that were just exceptional. So these two are done by the Whiskey Godfather. This one was done by Value Liquor, and then this one was done by Brown Jug. And I am don't tell the others, but I'm saving the best for last, and I'll tell you why as we get into them. So Blanton's, I'm not a fan. Just not. The regular juice is just really not that exceptional for me, especially when it's locally priced at $80 pretty much everywhere I go. To me, it's not an $80 bottle. This one, well, that's a whole nother story. So again, this one's the store pick done by the Alaska Whiskey Godfather, who is the bartender at a local restaurant, also owns a liquor store. And so these bottles go to both of those. But this does not taste anything, smell anything like a Blanton's. I've got a little bit of cinnamon, some vanilla, brown sugar, and toffee. Just a great, palate. Now, this is only 93 proof, so it's not going to blow me out of the water, but we are going to get into some higher proofs here in a minute. But just a really nice sip. Oh, yeah. It really does. Brown sugar, maple notes, some cinnamon and baking spices. There's the vanilla. Oh, it's just, and there's a nice, really nice warming hug in that as well. That really just kind of just gets in there and reminds us. All right. So and again, that's only 93 proof. This is 125, 120, 122.6. So by far the shortest proof number in the group. Still got a great hug out of it. And that is because, of course, it is first proof today. Now, 1792, produced by Barton's, is already some good juice. Most people know that this is good stuff, and I just happen to have been able to find the full proof, which is 125 proof, as a store pick. I also have a few others, the bottle and bond, the single barrel, and the small batch. So I am a fan of the 1792. That being said, the foolproof store pick was done exceptionally well. And of course, all four of these were done well. I wouldn't put one up here that was going to be bad. You know how good stuff was. But I have only so far run into one store pick that I actually didn't like, that I thought what the normal was better. And that's why I said finding exceptional versions of these could be harder than finding a pappy. But that being said, it could also be better. Just saying. I'll put this one up against just about any finished whiskey bourbon that you want to, and I believe that this one would probably beat the pants off of it just because of the unique flavors and stuff. But again, we'll get into that one here in a second. The full proof, 125 proof, as I said. Oh, definitely red fruit and brown sugar. Oh, that smells so good. You get a little bit of the ethanol marker smell, but when we are 120 plus, I'm expecting to get some of that. But it's really faint for something that's that high. So, really a nice, exciting red fruit based nose. And as you can see, I've been into these for a little while, so I've given them a chance to open up. These were much, much better once they had been given a couple of weeks to open up. So think about that the next time that you have a high fruit. Should you open it up and let it sit for a couple of days before you bother to serve it, or should you just open it and enjoy it? There's definitely going to be a palate difference. All right, cheers. That's so good. I forgot how good that was. Because they're store picks and I can't re up on them. They're not anymore. Once they're gone, they're gone. I don't get into them real often. I just forget sometimes how good this stuff is. Man, that's like red fruit and some molasses, some baking spices, a little bit of vanilla, and a nice hug. Very nice hug. It's very oily. It's not real viscous. It's not real thick, but it's very oily and it's coated my mouth. That's a beautiful drink. Just a beautiful drink. All right. So Knob Creek single barrel, 120 proof, store pick. This one was done by Value Liquor, which is a smaller chain. I guess it's a bigger chain compared to this one, a smaller chain compared to this one. They have 3 stores here locally, and they do some pretty good barrel picks. They really do. And so I wanted to bring up and talk about their 9-year, or excuse me, their Knob Creek single barrel. I believe it's 8 years. Like it says on here. No, it was almost 10 years. I'm sorry. This single barrel was almost 10 years. It was a month and a day shy of being 10 years old. So 9 years, a whole 8 months and 29 days. I mean, come on. That's basically 10 years old. Um, yeah. So with that being said, we are really excited about getting into some of these. Now you get more of that marker smell off the nose of this one, which is more typical to a Knob Creek anyway. But you also get that nuttiness. Not a big nutty, it's just a little nut. But it's also got the vanilla and maybe a touch of the brown sugar. I mean, this is a pretty quintessential bourbon, but it's not the nose that I put it in this lineup for. Cheers. That's so good. Like a peanut brittle with vanilla and some baking spices. This one is actually quite viscous. It's not as oily, but it's really thick on the palate, and it's really good. I enjoy peanut brittle. As we're getting into the holidays, it's something I can look forward to. Maybe that's something I'll break out at the holiday with peanut brittle and get some of the boys into it and see what happens. All right. Last but not least, we have a Texas whiskey that is finished in Oloroso barrels. This is a single malt whiskey, it's not a bourbon. 122.6 proof. And when I first opened this up, I was not a fan. Just going to be honest with you, I wasn't a fan. I didn't enjoy it that much. I let it sit, and I just let it sit, and I didn't think about it. And part of it was because it said malt, and when I first opened it up, it was very malt heavy and malt forward. And I'm still trying to get my Scotch and malt wheels, training wheels off. I'm not there yet. So I wasn't a fan. And I'm not going to give it away because I understand that whiskey gets better with age, just like myself. And so, and so I thought, I'll hang on to it, see what happens. And sure enough, I went back to it just about a week ago, and I was just like, I couldn't believe it. It was so good. So on the nose, raisin, brown sugar, vanilla. It smells so sweet. Raisin and vanilla and raisin forward. Yeah. Maybe even, maybe in the white chocolate. I'm like, I probably need to go white chocolate. All right. On the palate. So being from the South, my grandma makes just the best raisin pie that I've ever had. She makes that. Love is her secret ingredient because I tried to replicate that thing, and I'm a pretty good cook. I can't do it. I can get close, but I can't hardly recommend or replicate grandma's wonderful recipe. And let me just tell you, this one did. This one makes a better raisin pie than what I can. That's literally what it tastes like. So if you haven't had raisin pie, it's basically boiled raisins with sugar and uh, boiled raisins with sugar and salt, and a pie crust that's baked. It's so amazing. It really is. It's just good stuff. And it's not something that I get to have often. So when I figured out that that's what this ended up being after it opened up, this melted my heart and like made my inner fat kid smile. Like this is probably one of the best bottles that I have ever had to date, and I got 300 on the shelf now. And again, as far as finished goes, easily the best bottle that I've got and that I've had. Now, non-finished bottles. Now it that's when we get into the quintessential bourbon, and they don't compare real well because bourbon versus finished whiskeys or finished bourbons, even when you're starting to get this other stuff, it detracts from the natural bourbon. And so I think it would be hard to compare them. So I wanted to really do something that was special with store picks, and these four are really really good, which is why I featured them in today's list. I mean, this is what you're trying to hunt for is for these exceptional fours, and they are exceptional. So go perusing, talk to your local bourbon society, bourbon community, find out where the good stuff is, and start snatching you up some store picks. All right, that's all I got for you today. Go get you some. We'll see you on the next.